I don't know if you are into brandy or cognac, whichever one you want to call. So first of all, if the brandy comes from Cognac region of France, then it's called cognac. Otherwise, it's called brandy. So for those who don't know, but the way they grade them is you have VSOP, you have Napoleon, you have VS. So there's all these different levels of it. And of course, it's to do with aging. So when you're buying it, of course, depending on what it is, you have XO that is better than all of them. So what these brands do, they take pride in the quality of their product and they say, you know what, our VSOP, which is the lower one, is better than the Napoleon of this brand. So what happens is the consumer automatically decides, oh, I'd rather go with this brand because their quality is higher. But there is a measurement even in brandy. So that's what I'm hearing. So this actually is a much better way because it gets rid of the government from arbitrarily making decisions and imposing things, right? So it's the market decides, and then as long as you are able to measure it, then that's what they go by.
Yeah, and take that analogy to the next level. So now you're going into your favorite cocktail bar, and they're going to make a mixed drink, and they're not just going to pour straight cognac or straight tequila, whatever. They're going to mix it with a bunch of things. So all the drink aficionados would know, well, okay, if I'm going to have a drink and it's based on a certain kind of, what tequila did they put in there? Is it some cheap stuff that because then overall the drink is going to taste different than if you use the good stuff, right? But it's more than subjective. There are standards that you have in that, and that's exactly what's happening in this feedstock blending world. They want to know that cocktail mix of energy was produced with measurement between it. Otherwise, you can have a low grade or high grade or this or that, and it's not going to, in some cases, the mix could blow up something. You put the wrong cocktail into a ship that's going from China to Europe to deliver goods, it has to have a certain, if you don't have the right biofuel mix, bad things happen. The engine blows up.
This, in fact, will define good energy versus bad energy in a way that can be measured without being subjective, right?
And where we're going, there were other certifications in the past, but they were subjective. So they said, oh, we give this energy producer an A.
Yeah, based on what?
Well, what does that mean? We don't care about any of that. We just say, here's the carbon intensity, here's how much throughput, when it was produced. Essentially, there's a relatively new concept called EACs, or energy attribute certificates, or environmental attribute certificates. Think of it like a birth certificate for energy. And now, for the first time, all these technologies can go together. So we produce this EAC as an NFT on the blockchain, which is immutable, can be changed, can be combined into different combinations. That technology didn't exist years ago. So what the industry would do is try to track all this stuff in gobbledygook of spreadsheets. Made it really hard, like 6 weeks of back end work, and they would deliver this, pile of spreadsheets, which are all different standards and whatever. And we said, this is not going to work. But on the blockchain, you have immutable NFTs as EACs. They can be combined in different ways, different formulas, and that person buying that collection can go back to each one of those birth certificate, those EACs, track it, look at the GHG statement, look at where it was produced, when it was produced, completely trackable all the way through the supply chain.